Welcome to Carnival's newest private destination, Celebration Key. Just opened a few weeks ago, and this is going to be a very rough and no edit type video, so bear with me here. So first, here are my impressions on it. Initial thoughts, it looked really nice. The entrance was bright, colorful, tropical. They had Bahamian music playing in the background, so that was really nice. But it was insanely hot. By the time you literally walked from the ship to the entrance, you were drenched in sweat. So they've got the trams here, as you see, for those who can't or don't want to walk from the ship to the island. But it was super hot, so make sure that you stay hydrated. So here we are walking by Starfish Beach. You can see the ship out there in the background, and you also have this really cool Celebration Key mural on the wall, so you can take your pictures, get some footage right here if you wanted to. Again, you could tell this place is brand new. It was very clean. Everything was laid out really well. Here you have the tram stop and just some views of the grounds. You have the cabana concierge here if you wanted to purchase a cabana, which is an upcharge. And then over here, we made our way over to the food hall. So as you walk up to the food hall, it is wide open. They have a sign right here at the front. This sign reminds you that you get one free meal with your Sail and Sign card. It is complimentary. You get your free cookie, or you can use it for 25% off at one of the paid restaurants. So as you walk in here, everything is covered. There's a lot of shade. You have the ceiling fans, so that was really good because you got a little break from the heat. But you have a bunch of different windows here. We have the different foods. So my only complaint here is that all the food was like tourist type food. You didn't have anything authentic, no Bahamian options. So you basically had things like hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries, chicken tenders, chicken sandwiches, tacos, burritos, Mediterranean bowls, French fries, onion rings, stuff like that. So you can see the prices here on the left. It shows what your complimentary meal is. You also had the beverage cooler where you had these drinks. The prices on these were pretty expensive. So if you look at these, you got 12 bucks, $9 for Celsius, $7 for beer. They were rather expensive, but you had a good option or a good selection of options. White Claw, you got coconut water, you got some spiked teas, Michelob Ultras, stuff like that. But be prepared to spend tourist prices. It's a tourist destination, so you have to expect that you're going to pay tourist prices. $3 for a bottle of water. Those were all paid beverage options. What you get with your free meal is free water. So here you have the tacos and the burritos. You pick what you want. If you want a second entree, you see what the prices are. You got the Mediterranean options here. Again, the second price for the second serving if you wanted anything other than your free meal. And it was the same thing at each window. Here you have a soda station and beer. You do have to pay for this, and they do have cashiers. So if you see here, I'm doing a spin around 360 of the food hall, where you see all the different food windows, and then you see the cashier stations, the beverage cooler stations, and then you have the fountain sodas over there to the right. So that was pretty much it for the food hall. So what I did like is you had restrooms all over the island. You couldn't go far without finding them. Here you have the food trucks area. This was on the Starfish food truck side. So you have several food trucks laid out here. Some of the options you had were the mini donuts, and all of these things you were able to use your complimentary meal and also buy additional things. So you had the Seaside Shack here, which had like chicken tenders, mozzarella sticks. Again, tourist food, nothing authentic. You have the taco stand here. I got the jerk chicken tacos later, but you get your free entree, or you can do the added things if you wanted to buy additional. Here's just the cheesesteak sandwiches, stuff like that. Very touristy, nothing authentic at all. If that's what you're into, that's cool, but I was kind of hoping for more authentic type dishes. So next we checked out the Starfish Lagoon side of the pool. It was extremely massive, guys. It was not crowded at all. There's plenty of room, even though we had two ships in port. We were on the Celebration. You also had the Venezia there. So there was tons of room in the pools, as you see here. The pools are beautiful. It did not feel crowded at all, but there is not much shade at all in the pool. So you have the umbrellas and the chairs out there, and then you have the cabana options depending on if you decided to spend the money for a cabana and what type of cabana you picked, but the pools were beautiful. So here you just have some other views of the pool. You have the ships in the background. Again, you have the Calypso Lagoon and Starfish Lagoon. This is on the Starfish Lagoon side, and as you see, the pool is still wide open. You have people out there enjoying the day, but it was not crowded. It did not feel crowded, and there was plenty of seating, plenty of umbrellas, but I just wish there was a little more shade. It was insanely hot out here, guys. When I say hot, that is an understatement. It was like 1,000 degrees out there. So after Starfish Lagoon, we walked through the straw market area. This is where you can pick up some souvenirs. So you had different vendors in here, pretty standard souvenirs, same things you would find in Nassau or anywhere else. And of course, it is tourist prices, so There are local vendors, but again, pretty much the same stuff you would find in Nassau. Next, we went to the adults only side of Calypso Lagoon. So as soon as we walk through here, we see kids all over the place. So I'm not sure what they meant about it being adults only, but there are kids everywhere. So Chi-Chi wanted to try flipping fritters. These were the food trucks on the Calypso Lagoon side. She waited in line for about 15 minutes, finally got her fritter platter here, and let's check it out. It did not look appealing at all to me. You had 6 fritters, 2 shrimp, 2 conch, and 2 corn. You've got a few french fries, about 2 spoonfuls of coleslaw. A tiny itty bitty little cookie here was very, very small. You had some dipping sauces. The fritters, after Chi-Chi ate them, she said they were all batter primarily. There was not much meat in the fritters at all. And that was her complimentary meal. Again, you can order more if you want to, but you cannot make any differentiations in your order. It has to be 2 of each. You cannot get all 6 of one thing. So here you have the grounds again. We're just walking through. You see the beautiful vegetation, the coconut palms, the native vegetation to the Bahamas. So really, really nice. Everything was really clean. And at this point, we're just kind of taking in the views, and we're making our way over to the beach, and we're walking towards Calypso Beach. So this entire destination is basically a big giant circle. So if you walk in, you go to the left or right, and you continue walking, you will literally walk into a circle. So this here is Calypso Beach, beautiful beach. The turquoise blue waters were insanely beautiful, and you have the ships back there in the background, as well as the pier. The sand, as you get to the water, was pretty soft, but as you got closer to the water, it was a little rocky, and then also in the water was rocky itself. So I definitely recommend water shoes. Here you have the Sun Castle, Celebration Key Sun Castle, and on either side is the Calypso Lagoon and Starfish Lagoon. It separates the 2 gigantic pools, and if you continue to walk through here, you come back out, you see on one side you have the Calypso Lagoon. Beautiful day. And again, notice there's not a lot of shade, but it was extremely hot. So stay hydrated, guys. Also, if you're older or you're not in that great of health, I would not recommend going out here just because of the heat. It is so hot. But the pool is beautiful. Everyone was out there enjoying, having a great time. You had Bahamian music playing in the background, so it was really nice. Here is the entrance to the water slides. There's two of them there. The lines were not long at all. And finally, I got my food here. These are the Bahamian jerk chicken tacos. They were very tiny. They were more like a snack portion. They were kind of tasty, but it definitely was not a meal. Here it is, a close-up of the taco. You can hold it with like 2 fingers. And I have my cookie, of course. The lady forgot to give it to me, but I still got it after I asked for it. Then finally, this was really cool. You had the Bahamian Junkanoo parade, and the parade was really nice. You had all the performers coming out wearing their traditional garb. You had the music playing. There was a very, very high energy, and it was just a very, very nice performance. One area we did not make it to was the Pearl Cove Beach Club. That is also another area. It's adults only, but it is an upcharge and a paid area. But what I would say is overall, the island was beautiful, or the destination was beautiful. Did not feel crowded at all with 2 ships in port, which were the Celebration of Benicia. We had a great time. The weather, while it was excellent, was extremely, extremely hot. I would not recommend it for somebody in bad health. The destination could use some improvements going forward, like maybe installing some misters throughout the destination or the island on many of the walkways, but I'm sure they'll figure it out and fine-tune it, as they build out the other phases on the island. This is the first phase, guys, keep in mind. So I suggest them getting a couple stands where they can have locals make like fresh conch salad right in front of you like they do in Nassau. And also selling some coconuts, fresh coconuts, cold coconut water would be really, really nice. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this answers some of your questions and gives you a good idea of what Celebration Key is like. And if you visit there, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you've already been there, let me know what your thoughts were. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.